Hello everyone and welcome to Tekken 3, the final Tekken game on the PlayStation 1 and one of my personal favorites back in the day. And yeah, I really love this game and it was a lot of fun and I'm really excited to play it here. There are a total of 3 intros we can kind of say, so I'm just going to talk here as we get the other 2 intros. So with Tekken 2, this was one that I played a lot way back then with my family, with my grandfather, with my grandmother and everything. And we had a whole lot of fun playing these games. And this one in particular, I remember being much more feature rich than the others. And it had a lot more moves and things that I really remember a lot more than like a second Tekken game. Although Tekken 2 still has a lot of nostalgia for me as well. So yeah, it's going to be great. As we usually do, we'll have I would do a dedicated video for each character, and there are a decent amount of characters, so we will be playing through each of them. And we have some new faces, we have some old familiar faces, and then we also have some people that are actually not returning from the previous games. So that's actually really interesting as well, that maybe some of your favorite characters from the first 2 games are not there anymore, or maybe someone from the second game is not there anymore. But yes, we do have some new characters and everything. So yeah, it'll be really good to play it. Let's see if we can get the last opening. There's one more opening. As I also want to say hello to Dino in the chat. Hello to you. Hopefully you are doing fantastic as well. And I like the little Pikachu thing. That is really cute. So I guess as like a hang on, maybe this is our final. Yeah, this is the arcade opening. But I'm playing the PlayStation 1 version, of course. Arcade version being quite a bit different, although not as different as the other 2 games. Like Tekken 1, Tekken 2, they were more different on the arcade, but okay, so with that, let's check out some of our options here. We have game options. You know what? I am going to bump this up to medium just to see. Maybe I will be able to do a little bit better because I have had to put it down to easy for the first 2 games, but maybe we'll do a little bit better. So everything else is set to default except for the round time. I like the round time to be infinite. Whoever defeats one another, you know, that's basically how it is. But we also have some new game modes as well. You can kind of see them up in the top right. We will get to those in just a moment, but we will have 2 rounds. We're not going to change our character at continue. We're not going to have any guard damage. I guess this is when you select a character, it'll put the cursor on that character when you start a new match or something. Quick select, I'm not entirely sure what quick select is. Background music select, much like what we did for the first 2 games. We will go through half the characters and then we will switch it to the arcade version. So the remix version there's different audio for the PlayStation 1 version and the arcade version. So we're going to keep it as the PlayStation 1 remixed music, and then we'll swap it halfway. And then of course we got to have it in stereo. Of course we do. Here's my key configuration. I've already kind of set this up. I like all the top buttons to be a combination of the various button presses. Vibration is off. I think that was the default, but yeah, I think I tried it on and it was just non-stop rumbling. So I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. So why don't we see what some of this story is about here, because we did see some stuff in the intro there, and much like the other Tekken games, it's not really clear as to what happens, like story-wise. But as like a brief refresher of the last tournament, there is, even though you can win the game as all the different characters, it's only really one that is canon, and that was Heihachi's ending, because, you know, Heihachi hosted the first Tekken tournament, and then his son took over because Kazuya beat him. He brought out like his inner devil essentially, and then Heihachi, you know, he was dethroned by his son Kazuya, which then Kazuya started a second tournament, but then Heihachi defeated Kazuya and threw him into a volcano. So that that is where this one will pick up. But it's not quite right after. No, it's a little bit different here. So we have one day, 15 years after the king of Iron Fist Tournament 2, a communique was sent to Heihachi Mishima, the leader of the Mishima financial empire. The report brought the ominous news that his Tekken forces had been obliterated after encountering a mysterious being called Ogre. Yes, it's Ogre. That's right, Shrek. Shrek is in this game. Shrek is in this game. Soon after... They are like onions, after all. You gotta peel back the layers of the stench of the onions. Donkey! Anyway, soon after receiving the news, martial art masters from around the world began disappearing. In the midst of Heihachi's concerns about the missing fighters and Ogre, a young man appeared before him. His name was Jin Kazama. He claimed to be the son of Kazuya Mishima, whom Heihachi himself had taken to the grave during the last tournament. In a more startling revelation, Jin said that his mother, Jin Kazama, had been attacked by Ogre and vanished. All of these events convinced Heihachi that Ogre thrived on the powerful souls of the vanished masters. He also believed that harnessing Ogre's powers could bring immense strength to the Mishima Empire. And thus, Heihachi taught the art of Mishima-style fighting karate to young Jin. Jin's discipline and abilities were strengthened like steel under intense training, driven by the desire for revenge upon the beast that took his mother's life. 4 years have passed, and Heihachi acknowledges Jin's impressive fighting prowess. And now he announces the King of Iron Fist Tournament 3 with Jin as a lure to draw Ogre out into the open. See, you don't even need to use Jin. All you gotta do is get a bunch of onions out, and then, you know, maybe that'll lure him out. Who knows? But yeah, that's the basic premise of the game. And yeah, I think it takes place quite a bit after. So with that, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a video for every single character, so let's just take a brief look at our characters. Let me go into practice first. Here's the characters that we have set initially. Some of them will look familiar, others will be brand new. We got Jin, he's new. We got Eddie, he's new. Harong is also new. And then Xiao Yu is also new. So yeah, we're going to be starting with her next. So yep, that's what we're going to be doing. So see you then.